Alright, can everyone hear me? Alright, can everyone hear me? Well, I can hear myself, so I think we're in good shape. Alright then, without further ado, let's start this up. Greetings everyone, my name is Atterville, and I welcome you all to my semi-blind live let's play of Make a Good MaGMML Contest 1 Remastered, or MaGMML1 R for short, a full-fledged remake of the original MaGMML1, completely rebuilding it in a new game engine to catch it up with the standards of the following contests. For a brief bit of history, the MaGMML1 Contest came about from a competition on Sprites INC and Talkhaus, which centered on designing good MaGMML levels using the aforementioned modified engine. 20 people submitted levels, and I was one of them, and these would be scored on several categories by 5 judges. These would then be organized into tiers based on the rank and included into the final product shown here. In retrospect, the final product's quality was mixed, primarily in terms of the quality engine, entries, and judging. This remake sets out to rectify most of the engine and non-entry content problems. The weapon rebalancing, hub worlds, tier bosses, secrets, extras, post-game, several other things have been all revamped, plus many new options have been implemented. So going through the 26 quote-unquote old levels plus the new ones is going to feel like a new experience. Also referencing the fact, in this game, MaGMML1 storyline did take place. I'm not sure if that level's been modified or not, so it'll be interesting to see. Snazzy new intro. Even the intro screens have much better sprite art. This is going to be a bit different because I'm simultaneously recording this and streaming this. When I post this later onto YouTube, it will be edited a bit so the audio balancing is a bit better. First and foremost, I'll be playing with the damage pop-up turned on, the health effects set to instant so I don't get killed by drop button inputs, live system turned off, and judge comments turned on. By default they're off because in MaGMML1 the judge comments, well, the rubric wasn't the best. It was rectified in MaGMML 2. So let's start. Now you can skip the dialogue for one. We have the same musical track as before. "24 energy elements. In the original game, I think you needed 25 because... well, never mind. Ignore that. "20 primary levels and 4 tier bosses. At least that's what I think. And I'll get to that, Buster. The weapon testing room has been renewed a bit. So now it's right over here. So let's go through the list of all the special weapons we have access to in the game, and wow, the CPU usage is high. We have the Metal Blade from MaGMML 2, Gemini Laser from MaGMML 3, Solar Blaze from MaGMML 10, Topspin from MaGMML 3, a fixed version, Thunder Wolf from MaGMML 10, although it's modified a bit, Pharaoh Shot, Black Hole Bomb, Magic Card, Rush Coil, and the classical Omega Buster. Let me do a quick double check. I'll leave this on just to be sure because I'm a bit worried with the FPS. Alright. And up there is the list of judges. I'll keep them on just for posterity, but I'll fast forward through them. After all, for many of them they aren't really accurate. And no, they did not fix any of the entry problems, just outside the entries. Tier 2, I'll be going through the list of levels in order from worst to best. So I'm gonna first go through Tier 1. And these are the better levels, so I'll ignore them. And for those not to know, all these special weapons have been modified a bit. Either rebalanced to use more weapon energy or less weapon energy. I'm gonna try getting the Skull Amulet and the Charge Buster upgrade as soon as possible, plus the Shot Limit Remover. There's Tier 1 and I Spy an exit. I need to complete 5 tiers in order to open the exit though. Before I go into here though, just a quick pause. Alright, resuming, sorry about the temporary pause. Let's do this. Into Tier 1 we go. I need to reduce the amount of lag. Just like before, the sewers... Just like before, Tier 1 is the sewers. Time to move on to the worst level of the original MaGMML. In 28th place is Objective Vein Space by No Lynch with a score of 9. And you'll see why it's the worst. That's it. That's the gist of this level. Just sit down and do nothing. Well, I will. I want to see the leaderboards for this. They should all be tied, I believe. I mean, if you do nothing, it should be exactly the same. Now, if you cheat, there should be a way to do it faster. But not by much. Also, the judge comments have been revamped, so now we can see their icons, and it has a better overall form factor. And added to this game for MaGMML 2 are the green skip teleporters, in case the levels have too many problems. In 19th place is City War by Quascake with a score of 14.4. The rather infamous level, and is Snow and Pyro, Cheese 8, Mr. Kyrem, and Blackmore Darkwing's least favorite level. For various reasons. If you don't like this level, and I'll showcase why you may not like this level, just jump into the teleporter. I don't blame you. For one, we have Invisible Collision. And also, there's Invisible Lack of Collision. Yeah, there's a remastered version, Professor T. I'll try that. The best way to get through this level is to just use the rush jet, but be careful, there's still invisible collision. The music playing in the background, I believe, is the Thundercat. The music playing in the background, I believe, is the intro music from Thundercats, the cartoon series. You can stand through nothing and fall right through things. The reason why that happened according to Quascake is because they accidentally had the override underlying collision objects or objects option toggled in GameMaker. That's what caused the issue. I had it by accident turned on for a few sections during my own level. And we're done. Yeah, that was City Under Siege, I believe. That was a much better level. And now the judge comments support images. That was taken from MaGMML 2 as well. Yeah, City Siege. Oops, I fast forwarded through that too quickly. Next up in 18th place is Level by Kana with a score of 18.4. Once I complete Tier 1, I'll go back to Objective Feint Space and try using Gemini Laser on the walls. Enemies spawning in from the middle of nowhere. And this stage basically consisting of random tile sets and random enemies. Yeah, this is far from decent. It just feels like everything is randomly strewn together. I forget her name, but she comes from one of the, I believe one of the spin-off Mega Man titles. What was the other worst level that was in MaGMML 2? I know City War was in there, but I forgot about the other one. Honestly, this level just existed. In fact, it's even worse than most levels that just exist in Mega Man Maker. No, you can't. She's just part of the background. Next up is The Quickening by Zaglarok's Odyssey, with a score of 35.2. I think that's what he meant by one of the worst levels, Buster. Oh no, Objective Feint Space. Yeah, that was added, not exactly this level, but as a set piece for Tier 1. This level. This is where originally the Black Hole Bomb would be extremely useful, but it's been really nerfed in this game. And I'll demonstrate how it's been nerfed. Originally, these could eat up the force beams, but here, they don't. So it's much harder. In MaGMML 1, NPCs didn't exactly exist in the engine itself as a pre-made asset, so different people did different ways of adding NPCs. Oh yeah. And no music either. And I can't just easily damage boost over there. Yep, no music. This stage has absolutely no music. Yep, there was no Death Kit bosses. Well, technically there was Napalm Man, sort of, but he wasn't really designed to be worked with this engine. The original version of this engine is essentially a modified version of Blaiga's engine, and that ran at 30 FPS and it had a whole series of accuracy problems, and as well as some general lack of polish, especially in comparison to Mega Man Unlimited, which just came out a few months before it. Well, not a few months, but came before it, so it felt like a drop in quality. But now it's been fixed with 60 FPS gameplay, and all the controller inputs work very well. Yeah, you get all the lives here. Of course, I turned off the live system to prevent issues later on the line. Oh yeah, in MaGMML1 we actually had lives, and there was no way to turn it off. Which weapon destroys these? There must be a faster weapon for this. Almost there. I already tried. It's been nerfed in this game, the remastered version, so it can't eat them up. Well, to be fair, it can eat up these. But that's not exactly helpful. I need something faster. Sheesh. I think using the rush coil is safer here. Yeah, the timing's a bit off from Mega Man Maker. I'm not off, it's different. That's what I'm saying. It takes longer for Rush to spawn in. There. And that's the quickening one. Surprising I did in one go for the first half and die repeatedly in the second half, but players died repeatedly over and over and over in MaGMML1 because of this level. And game over several times. Thanks to respawning lives, it became a lot easier. Yeah, Random Pelican. This was much harder in MaGMML1 because the engine ran at 30 FPS and the control inputs were less responsive. It's much harder than Quickman's level, and honestly, the Quickening 2 was much better. But if you know what you're doing, it can be completed quite quickly. See Fabian's scores. Alright, on to the Tier 1 boss. That was a pretty short tier because all tiers only have about 4 levels. So let's do it, the new Tier 1 boss. In the original game, it was Joltman from Mega Man Eternal, but this time it's a Lyric. An upgraded Lyric. Lyric with the head of Doc Robot. Okay, I didn't expect that. And with particle effects that are not possible to accomplish on the NES. Him, okay. Okay, he's in the second phase now. He's changed to moving on sideways now. Ow. Okay, his head doesn't have a hitbox. Pretty simple overall boss. In fact, I'd say he was easier than Joltman. Yeah. You can defeat him in 7 seconds, but with Buster only is 26 seconds, and 3 seconds if you cheat. So that was this world, but before I leave out of here and check out Objective Vein Space, I'd like to show a funny glitch I discovered while testing. Yeah, the water catches me while in teleportation. No comment about that. Alright, let's try using the Gemini laser. They do break through the walls, by the way, but... Oh yeah, that was my bad. You're not supposed to go to the left. It counts as a bottomless pit. You can break through all these barriers, but... why do it? There really isn't any difference to the stage anyway. So that's tier 1 done. Extremely short tier, only took about 15 minutes to complete it. Well, 13 minutes. And the water here is to make so we can get back much faster. Bottom water is faster for going to the right, top water is faster for getting to the left. True. And as we collect more and more energy elements throughout the game, more NPCs will pop up in the hub world. Each with their own jokes. And sometimes Dr. Light has something new to say. I don't have any bolts to purchase any new shop items, unfortunately. These levels are really scarce in terms of bolts, but that'll change very soon due to a particular level in Tier 2. If you played MaGMML1, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Metal Blade has been quite nerfed. Well, maybe not quite nerfed, but at least now it's not broken. This used to lead to something. How does the game compare to Mega Man Maker? Well, this is a remastered or large remix of the original MaGMML1, which came way before Mega Man Maker came out. A better comparison would be MaGMML2 with Mega Man Maker. This has... I don't know, I'd say that Mega Man Maker is more creative, but it's an unfair comparison because that game came later, following Mega Man. It came after MaGMML1. Million times. Well, a few thousand. I'll have to save up at least... Yeah, I'll have to save up at least 300. That's tier 3, so I'm going the wrong direction. There's tier 2. That would be much more handy if I was playing with lives off. I wonder what happens if you try buying a life there. And I think I forgot to mention this, but all the hub worlds have been redesigned so they're easier to navigate and look better. Although the hub worlds in MaGMML1 aren't that difficult to navigate anyways. Reusing assets from previous Mega Man games. In 16th place is Chroma Key by Gyro Saloon. With a score of 38.6, we're now going into the below par levels. Bad to below par. So let's do this. And in the background is one of my favorite musical tracks in MaGMML1. The gimmick behind the stage is that each section focuses on a different color, and all the enemies and gimmicks follow the same color scheme. Or at least try to. In this case, it's purple and violet. Well, they're supposed to be easy to navigate, Buster, but I'll get to that. I haven't seen the tier 3 hub world yet. Here's a section where you can farm up some extra bolts. That's what I was talking about, how my money problems would disappear after this level. So I'm gonna stay here and farm up some bolts and then I'll move on forwards. Killing spam, AK money farm, or bolt farm. Magic card as well. I'm waiting for a lot of them to spawn in at once and destroy them all at once for extra effects. There is no enemy limit in this game, so tallies will spawn in constantly. Okay, there is a limit. I don't recall there being a limit originally, but maybe that was added. I know about that, but I'd rather use some of the other weapons that aren't currently in Mega Man Maker. I'll get 50 more, then I'll move on forwards. Demonstration of how to use the Pharaoh shot. Just leave the button down here and you can easily farm all the bolts you want. There goes the shock system. It's in the description below, so look that up. Anyways, enough farming, time to proceed onwards. And is it just me, or has the magic card been buffed in terms of damage? Oh, this section was the hardest part of the level. Mainly because of the fans coming up. And these enemies. They're quite aggressive, and they get shielded quite quickly. I was hoping to perfect run it, but oh well. When I say perfect run, I mean no damageless. See, these are the biggest problems. Also the fans. Also, the weapon blocks have been remade to look a lot more obvious, whenever possible, that is. Unless the level uses a different weapon block, or create their own custom ones. But as seen in this level, the reason why I got a negative score or low score is because of enemy spam. But I wouldn't mark it as being the worst level. It's a unique concept with using different sections for each color, but as we've seen in Mega Man Maker, there are much better ways of doing this. Next up in 15th place is Sunset Siege by Scorpio, with a score of 37.8. This was combined with City War in order to make Sunset City Under Siege. This was combined with City War to create Sunset. This was combined with City War to create City Under Siege. Missing background there. Missing background tile there. The musical track playing in the background, I believe, is from Gunstar Heroes. The previous level's musical track comes from, I believe, one of the Super Robot War games. Beyond the something. Yeah, I forgot about this screen transition. You're thinking of City Under Siege from MaGMML 2, Diamond Wolf, not this one. That level in MaGMML 2 was heavily inspired by this one. Because this engine didn't really have fortress bosses. You mean MaGMML 1's Thunderwall in the latest Mega Man Maker update? I kind of wanted it too. You don't have as much area effect per Thunderwall itself, but you get to use 3 Thunderwalls at a time. So it's a lot more useful against weaker enemies, and you can use it as a better area denial weapon. Yeah, MaGMML 1's Thunderwall is a better area denial weapon. The cosmic platforms move much slower in this engine. If there's one thing I'm thankful for, it's that the guts lifts haven't been added to Mega Man Maker yet. And yeah, this leads to nothing. There's no E-tanks or anything on the right. So this part of the stage is unfinished. The way you're supposed to go is down this hole. One of the first stages in this competition, if you were to go through this from bottom to top tier, where you are forced to use special weapons. So it acts like a nice tutorial for all of your weapons too. Even in Gyro Saloon's level, Chroma Key, you weren't forced to use special weapons. Yeah, that'd be nice. Something else not shown here is that I love the fact that Something else I love over here, which I haven't shown yet, is that this game has a quick slide option. The original MaGMML1 didn't. Well, someone did submit a level with initial D at the end. That was... yeah, that was Dwang at the end of Tier 6 of MaGMML 2, but that song was replaced due to copyright fears. This stage felt unfinished, that's what I'll say. And of course, there's no way to do it Buster-only or perfectly, so... Next up is Midnight Slow by Blue Kirby in 14th place with a score of 43. Music from Kirby. Oh wait, there's another option to see interesting facts about levels. I didn't realize that option existed. Alright, I'll turn it on after this level. Or turn off the comments. I thought there was nothing there if you turned off the judge comments. Thanks for pointing it out, Needle Mouse. Oh wow, the Thunderbolt can pierce right through the Harry's ball rolling form. By the way, these ice blocks don't have ice physics, even though they look like they should. Goodbye, giant penguin. It feels like an overall improvement over the original. In almost every regard so far, or except the black hole bomb, but everything else feels much better. The androids themselves are basically the same, but everything else surrounding them is better. Our first E-Tank in this game. Compared to MaGMML 2 where you get your first E-Tank really fast, it's quite a difference. I want to cover the game 100%, so I wanted to go through the levels from worst to best. I'd rather not go in the opposite direction because then you'll see the game is decreasing in quality. Nice that they recolored that Petite Snakey though. Oil Man, okay, duly noted. I know there are more secrets in the game, so I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. And according to the description, there's over 30 levels in this game, compared to the 26 in the original, so I know there are at least 4 more new levels in the post-game, and the post-game has been expanded significantly. When I eventually publish this video on YouTube, it'll be somewhat edited so the audio balancing is better. And also, the parts will be split into different tiers. Like, the first episode will be split into tiers 1 and 2, and the second episode will be split into tiers 3 and 4. I will give credit that I like how this level uses some of its aesthetics, but otherwise it's... I don't know, Pyra, I don't really like talking about who's a real fan or not a real fan. It distracts from enjoying the game itself, enjoying the game franchises. Alright, that's strange. Must be collision detection, or how the blocks are placed. Really, the main things that are holding up this level are the last turd, as well as the music and aesthetics. Frankly, why waste time discussing, arguing who are real fans when you can just critique the games themselves and make more levels? Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through this level, read the judge comments, then turn them off and see what the judge what the interesting facts of the levels are. Nice call forward to MaGMML 2, actually. So next up, in 13th place, is Sky Ziggurat by Monkey Shrapnel with a score of 46.8. I believe this is the last level of Tier 2. Also, button mashing is a lot easier in this game compared to Mega Man Maker. That's thanks to the Megamix engine. Well, goodbye there, Mega Man 1 Snapper Joe. And now he escaped into the sky. We have Suicidal Joe and Escape Artist Joe. Nice usage of the drop shadows and the top shadows, I guess. I'll take the upper route first. That's what Joe is trying to do. They aren't always successful though. See, that's Sniper Joe. He tried escaping, but he's trapped. Sadly, there's no escape for him. Pop-up attackers, those bomb boys, or whatever they're called from Mega Man 1, Bomb Man's level. I'm surprised they never showed up again in future Mega Man titles. Bomb bombs, thank you. Even though there's a ceiling up there, it doesn't actually count as collision, where the pathways link up with each other. Unless the stage pathways have very distinct differences, I will not go through the stages 100%. I remember the secret room. Sadly, you can't collect more than one M-Tank at a time. Oops. This pathway links up with the lower pathway to the left anyway, so not much of a loss. I just wanted the E-Tank and bolts. I wish I had a shield weapon in this game. Well, I sort of do in the form of Black Hole Bomb, but it's not really an instant shield. For situations like that. My level was Napalm Forest and Caves. It's midway through Tier 3. And I'll need to play through that stage twice because it has two distinct pathways. I'll do a shorter version of my own dev commentary back in MaGMML1. Not the best placement for a bomb boy, by the way, the left one. These are fine. And this stage is filled to the brim with E-Tanks. Not filled to the brim, but has a lot of E-Tanks. They'll be useful for the harder, better levels. And it's over. As a few of the commenters said, this engine originally didn't really have any pre-built bosses, so most stages end with just an asset. I would really disagree with Cheese 8's rating here, but most of the judges weren't that experienced or as experienced in MaGMML1, so I forgive them. And the rubric was kind of messy and a bit too generous in certain regards. Alright, before I move on forwards, I want to see what happens if I turn off the judge comments. Alright, so we do have fun facts. I'll have to go back into Tier 1 and this one in reverse to see them. No custom assets, and second level submitted to the contest entirely. Only 2 people perfect ran it. Interesting. Tier 2 boss. I believe they should be the same, but we'll see. Oh, Yoku Man. I thought he was in Tier 3 before. Maybe he was moved around a bit. Or I may be misremembering. I know Rock Forest was in the upper tier, so... Time to face off against Yoku Man for MaGMML Unlimited. He still has some of the same attacks from MaGMML Unlimited. At least the spikes here aren't instant death. His attack pattern seems a bit more advanced too. Ow. Especially this wave attack, this is definitely new. In general, I feel this boss fight is more fun than the original. Well, I didn't want to use an E-Tank here because I want to do it all Buster only in one go. The main reason why you can say Unlimited's Yoku Man wasn't as fast is because his attacks were all instant. His Yoku spikes were instant death. Not to mention one of his juke maneuvers. This one feels a lot more fair because the spikes only deal 4 points of damage to me. Dodging that last attack is going to be a bit of a problem. And originally in Mega Man Unlimited, once it went up to a higher tier or higher elevation of these Yoku blocks, the lower ones despawned, which made it even harder. And it's done. Yoku Man has been defeated. This boss battle is I feel it's more fun compared to Mega Man Unlimited's version. So that's Yoku Man defeated. To the left is the way out of here because all the tiers seem to loop around now. But before that, I'm going to see the fun facts of the remaining levels. I wouldn't exactly call Unlimited's Yoku Man horrible, but I say this is more fun than that iteration. So this stage didn't have any long form scrolling for some reason. I did notice that almost all the screens, or rather all the screens in the stage, were just one screens each. Some of the score got miscalculated there. Darn, I wish they could have implemented the other colors. MaGMML1 came before Mega Man Maker, and it was a contest where multiple people submitted levels to make in order to make the best Mega Man level. MaGMML2 came around the same time as Mega Man Maker, in fact a few months in the future. My main issue with Mega Man Unlimited is not really the length of the levels, but more so they need to double the number of checkpoints. Similar to how Mega Man Rock Force did it, because their levels are so longer as well, and in some ways more difficult. Objective Vein Space was based off the 131st place level from MaGMML X, which is one of the inspirations for MaGMML in the first place. No, I just go through at least 20 levels that were submitted by various people, level designers, and then go through Fortress levels and various bosses. Delete underlying box, that's what I was referring to earlier when I was in the City War. Ah yes, the female NPC at the end of level was named Waltz from Mega Man Dreamwave. And there were two different versions submitted for some reason, but it lacked even an exit. One of the last levels submitted. I keep forgetting Quickening was the last level submitted to the contest. MaGMML 3 isn't out yet, Queen Monica, so I can't really make a comparison. But all I can say is that this and MaGMML 3 share the same engine. So the controls are wonderful. Slightly better than MaGMML 2. Make a good Mega Man level Contest 3, the third iteration in the series. The game I'm currently playing is a remake of the first iteration. Alright, I'll be right back after a short pause. do. And I'm back. To answer some questions, the reason why I know about MaGMML trees controls is because I created a level for it, and multiple people submitted their levels to be reviewed, and all of us fellow level creators and others decided to test our levels, so we know how the engine will work, roughly. And I played through at least 30 other levels that were submitted to MaGMML tree. Hi, Sean Williams. Let's see if there's anyone else new in here. Oilman. Yeah, I know there is a secret to the right, but I think I need to beat the game. Or at least more levels. The thing is, it wasn't really that non-linear enough. Also, it needed to be compressed more. There was too much quote-unquote dead air. And this time the energy elements are color-coded based off of what tier you got them in. Wait, there was also a secret added to the bottom left. See that ladder? Can't reach it just yet. Before I move on to tier 3, I'm gonna buy some stuff at Eddie's shop. 10 chroma key for all the bolts. I want a charged buster upgrade. And the skull amulet. Next thing I want is the drop rate upgrade and the uncharged buster upgrade. On to tier 3, whose levels are in from 12th place to 9th place. Oh wow. I now understand what Buster was saying. Originally this tier hub world wasn't upside down, but now it is. Now we also have ice physics here. Now we're right side up. Well, but I see what I need to do here. I think. I guess this is the next level? I sure hope. Alright, in 12th place is Wily Combo by Mitch Shedder 93 with a score of 48.4. I need to eventually replay through MaGMML Unlimited by using Whirlpool Man. Or I mean the Z prototype. And sheesh, the volume has suddenly increased. Give me a moment. Alright, turn it down just a peck. Nice idea having a different version of these. This stage actually uses graphics from Mega Man The Wily Wires, I think. That's why it looks a bit 16-bit-ish. And that's also why we have ladder shadows. This part of the stage forces you to use the rush jet, and originally it was quite possible to clip right through rush jet and fall into the abyss, or hit invisible collision objects, but that's been fixed thankfully. And before I forget, here's the upgraded charge shot. And now has the same size as the one from Mega Man 5 instead of the one from Mega Man 6, and now it's shiny. Plus it deals 1 more damage per hit. Oops. I was paying too much attention to the spine there, that I missed the spike. I say Mega Man Unlimited is actually more difficult than Mega Man 11, but the main reason for that is due to the checkpoint placement, or rather the lack of it in some places. Next rush jet segment, or rather it's the spinning top section. Oh, I have some bad memories of those spinning tops, and you'll see why in a future level. Long story short, in the original MaGMML1 they were coded poorly. They were coded so poorly that they'd move in the background even if you pause the game. Those giant spinning tops from Top Man's level. I forget which game this stopper comes from. Well, at least this stage sort of has a boss. This giant snakey, but... well... it could have had its creation code modified to fire faster. That explains a lot. I didn't realize that TR7 was inspired by this comment. I'll read all the interesting facts, then I'll look back around and read the judge comments. I much prefer this comment compared to the previous one in MaGMML1. Speaking of which, next up is in 11th place, Napalm Forest and Caves by me, with a score of 52.2. I'll have to play through the stage twice as it has 2 main pathways. Long story short, I don't look too fondly back at this stage. It has a bunch of issues. First and foremost, it's way too long. First path split, I'll first take the upper route, and then during my second playthrough, I'll take the lower route. This route focuses more on the bouncy springs. And me forgetting to stop holding down the jump button. Let's try it again. I'm so used to how the stage played in MaGMML 1, but now the engine is much more smoother, so my timing's a bit off. Clip the corner there. Sheesh, I didn't realize how it could be a bit more boxy than I initially expected. Yeah, I heard of the sequel, but is it in the concept stages right now, or is it being programmed? Mega Man Prototype? Yeah, that's the one. Is that its final name, or is it like Mega Man Beta? Beta name. Good idea to take your time with it. Alright, back over here. I swear I don't remember that jump being that difficult. Checkpoint down over here. Essentially what I did was remake the original Napalm Man level and add my own twists and essentially elongate it. Mega Man Unlimited's engine also had a few other issues, like it was a pain to create levels in it. And this is where the two pathways link up with each other, and this is where the next path split is. I didn't figure out how to do animations here, so all the water's frozen, even though the water still has an effect. So just imagine the waterfalls being under the effect of the Bright Stopper. Was Wily for the Hatches stage in Mega Man Unlimited? I don't exactly recall. I know Y-Tree was the reverse gravity stage, but was Wily for the Roadmaster rematch room? Part of the level, I mean. Okay, 4 was rematches. I know why I got a negative score then. Not a negative score, why Buster doesn't like it. Some of those rematch rooms are just the preceding mini stages, they're just too difficult, or way too punishing, especially considering the lack of lives you have in retries. Tankman's pre-rematch room, for example. At least that's how I felt. Honestly, this level in retrospect feels like 3 or 4 levels glued together. And not in a good way. Where the two pathways link up with each other. At least Glue Man had a very predictable pattern. The hardest boss for me was, I think, Jetman or Trinitroman. Don't get me wrong, I got past that room, the pre-rematch rooms, but that was thanks to in part due to all the upgrades I had, and the items. Also placing the pop-up attackers down over there so you can see where they pop up from, so they don't come out of nowhere. Oh, that's different. In my original version of the stage, they were immortal, but here, they aren't immortal. Nico evaluates, and that's the end of the level. There would have been a battle against Napalm Man here, a modified version, but I ran out of time, plus several other things didn't go right. Several things went wrong in real life. Yeah, they are a bit off, among other things. Now for the second route for this level. In general, the main problems of the stage is that I bit off more than I can chew. And this stage focused on way too many ideas at once that it felt like 3 or 4 stages glued together, and in a bad way. Now for the lower route. Go down this ladder, go to the left for an extra challenge. Although the upgraded Mega Buster really breaks the challenge, that didn't exist in the original game. And you get a spare E-Tank. 80 tanks already, I'm almost full. I played and beat Unlimited 3 times, by the way. And I can admit it has its issues. Before I used to like it a lot more, but after playing a bunch of other Mega Man fan games, I can definitely see its issues. What I really credit Mega Man Unlimited for is inspiring many Mega Man fan game developers to get their feet wet. Not to mention it was a major improvement in terms of engine quality in comparison to most other Mega Man engines beforehand. I mean, the next best engine following the Mega Man Unlimited engine or the Mega Man Rock Force engine would probably be the MaGMML2 engine, if we're going by eras. And in some ways, Mega Man Rock Force felt a bit more inaccurate compared to the NES titles relative to Mega Man Unlimited's take. Go for it, I want to see a 16:9 resolution version of the Megamix engine. I know Mega Man Unlimited has 16:9 resolution, and I really wish more Mega Man fan games play with the resolution more. I wish Mega Man Triple Threat didn't stop development. I would have loved to see an NES-styled fan game. Haven't played through the game as Zero yet. Time for the underwater route, which takes heavy inspiration from Bubble Man. And the same enemies from the original game. Original game being Mega Man 2. These feel a lot more aggressive though. I wish this mini-boss was part of the Mega Man Maker engine by this point. Part 2 of this boss, a bit harder. And this room is a pain to do with Buster only. Okay, for a second there I wondered why I despawned. Trying to do this damage list is a huge pain. I should have not placed all these enemies at once, especially the shotmen. If this stage focused on a smaller set of gimmicks, it'd be much better. Alright, here's one of my favorite sections of the stage, a modified spike fall section. Just need to fall down these jar blocks so you can get there safely. Or end up dying because I mistimed my jump. Oops. But because I knew players would die somewhat often there, I put a checkpoint right over here. Not too far back, but the screen up there is a bit annoying. I need to beat the Omega Roadmasters. On the Let's Play, that is. Take two, let's do this again. You can actually reach that E-Tank from off-screen, by the way. And this is where the two pathways link up with each other and the end of the level. So let's get out of here. As I said, this stage was supposed to end with a boss battle against Napalm Man with a revised pattern, but was cut due to time constraints and real-life issues. But the idea will return later in my MaGMML2 level, Conveyor Mayhem. Reference Rome Mitral. In 10th place is Hard to See Land by Parmesan with a score of 52.4. And I find it very strange, how did this stage get this high score? Well, I got clipped into the ceiling there. Not the ceiling, but the spike. Oops. Clip the side. Or rather, when I say clip the side, I didn't jump high enough. One of the reasons why I wish there was an option is sometimes to disable the normal means of using the slide. The spawn delay in Rush is... The difference in the spawn delay in Rush in this engine versus Mega Man Maker is kind of throwing me off here. Now the hard part. Originally, if you pause the game here while on top of these tops, the top still kept moving, so you can end up getting embedded into the spikes. Yep, version 1.1. Thankfully I don't need to worry about the glitchy tops here. But what I do need to worry about is dying. And I totally forgot about that one fan fiend. Let's try this again. I want to be back to full rush energy. And still get clipped by that one Yoku block, because I thought it was one step lower. This stage is becoming surprisingly much harder than I remember it to be. Seriously? Now it won't even jump high enough. Okay, fine, I'll just destroy all these enemies first. Yeah, that's strange. Originally I was able to do that, but now I can't. I'm just gonna stand right over here. And the spawning rates at the tops are a bit confusing too. They've still been maintained. Yep, I did. I just played right through it. There, after at least a dozen deaths I made it here. And I could have just jumped over there. Well, I couldn't really jump over there because the screen was locked, and it considered the bottomless pit. That isn't even supposed to be the hardest part of the level, by the way. The hardest part is coming up. Alright, time for the hardest part of the level. Originally this was a pain because of all the glitchy behaviors with the tops, with these spinning tops. Not so much here, but in the following one. This one. Also, some strange ways of how the topspin works in this engine. Keep jumping, otherwise you'll be embedded into the spikes. See, this is the hardest part. Just ignore that spinning top for this part. It's a lot safer. This was much worse than the original version of the level though. For one, collision detection was worse, lower frames per second, and worst of all, those stops moved even if you were paused, because of shoddy programming. And it's over. Time for some bright colors. I think 4 or 5 of them until we reach the end of the level. There is another bug at the end of this stage, by the way. If you hug the right side of the wall, you could get stuck in an endless death loop. One of the only unique musical tracks in the game specifically designed for this particular level. Although honestly, I still question how did this stage get such a high score. It got into 10th place, but really it should be in tier 2. Only one person did it non-damageless. Alright, what's next? In 9th place is Maze of Death by Flashman85 with a score of 63.8. Oh boy, this is going to be a long one. This is going to be somewhat of a Metroidvania exploration level, and unlike the original version, this is going to be a lot easier, mainly because we have an infinite number of lives, so we can't lose progress. As much progress, that is. But if this stage takes too long, just use the skip teleporter. It could have been much worse. It could have had noble nickels. Now I just need to remember where I'm supposed to go to in this level. This was actually quite a bit more of a controversial level, and I can see why. It's very long, one of the longest levels in the entire game. And you do have to explore a lot of parts of the level in order to succeed. And it has a huge variety of challenges too. Thank you, Saver. And before I go over there, make sure to hit the checkpoint, or open up this block. Or get killed anyways, because I forgot that. Oops. Let's try the upper route this time. Just a quick pause, just to make sure of something. Essentially, this is a refill room. If you're going to play this stage for the first time, I highly recommend you turn off the live system, if you haven't already. And stock up on E-tanks. I mean, in the original MaGMML1, just before the level, in the hub world itself, there was an abundance of lives. And I keep underestimating how big the explosion radius is. Let's try this again. I want to open up that shortcut. If I remember the stage exactly right, then it wouldn't take so long to complete. If I play through this stage repeatedly, I know exactly where to go. Oh, wait. There is a secret here. See that thing in the wall? Yep. Shortcut. I think it's a shortcut. Let me double check. Yeah, it is. In case you don't want to go through that section. Should have checked that out earlier. Always keep an eye on this level because there are a few more of them, one of which is necessary in order to complete the stage. Super bouncy tiles from Nightman's level. And actually, we can see where all these enemies are spawning from. See, there's the end of the level. I could damage boost to get down there, but I don't really have the upgrade, so I have to do it the normal way. I'm already planning on doing it the normal way anyway, so I'll need to loop around and get to different parts of this. Mainly, I need to get to the bottom left to use the metal blade, as well as the solar blaze. After all, this stage is called a maze. If I had weapon pickups, this would directly qualify as a Metroidvania level, due to all the backtracking required. Alright, actually I have to use the metal blade over here. Only 2 things left to go. And you are forced to use special weapons and utilities here, so I'm not complaining too much of forced weapon usage. See, I like the idea behind the stage, but boy, is it long. It was much more punishing in the original too, because you had the limited number of lives. And this stage doesn't really come with a map. See, I'd like this stage of a Metroidvania if it actually came with a map. Or something similar. The answer is better coding. And I didn't really hit a checkpoint, but I still destroyed those weapon blocks, so getting back won't take too long. It does. MaGMML1 Remastered feels like a pocket version of MaGMML1. Feels like a pocket version of Let me restate. Let me rephrase what I'm saying. MaGMML1 Remastered does feel like a pocket version of MaGMML 2 and the future MaGMML 3, based on the levels and entries I've played so far. Rats, I have to go through the other way. Those jump bug enemies are some of the more annoying ones to deal with normally. Mainly because of their guarding. The other reason why it feels like a Metroidvania is that you open more and more shortcuts as you get further and further along the level. I got clipped against the wall there because I destroyed that. Frankly, I don't mind this enemy spam as much because you're using it to refill weapon energy. It's not like Chroma Key where it comes out of everywhere without rhyme or reason. Alright, let's try it the other way. And missed the jump entirely because I thought I was going to clip the top one. I have more problems with the bottom line of spikes than the top line. Something special. I'll just go through this the other way. This is taking a lot longer than I initially expected to. And we're back. Sometimes I wish there was a checkpoint right over here. The only reason is because of this one room. Okay, made it. There is a secret to the right, but I won't go through it just yet. The ladder down over there. In the original game, the skull amulet didn't exist, so this room is even scarier. A more derpy version of the big fish enemy. Okay, this is where I wanted to go through. And now I can get out of here. Is there another extra thing in this level? Wait a minute. What do I need now? Can I fire it downwards? Oh, I have to do it from the lower side. Silly me, I'm missing one. That's what the other ladder is for. That always kind of trips me up. So here's what I need to do. Jump down over here, go down this ladder. I know it's a bit obscure, but you can see the ladder. Slide down this slide path. Get over here. Get the tank, and now our way out is open. Sorry for jumping the gun there. Time for the boss of this level, the quote-unquote boss. Now, there is a way to circumvent this challenge by damage boosting through that top right ladder, but you need some more precision when doing it properly, and I think it was fixed in this engine. So the boss of this level are all these Sniper Joes. Into the dumpster they go. This was before Flashman85 made Joes, by the way. Jump over it, and there we go. Stage over. Or is it? I deliberately took a dead over there to showcase them a funny glitch. It still counts as a stage being complete, by the way. So let's do it again. And that's how you do it while surviving. And that was the other reason why it's controversial. Gemini Laser taught that all the entries would be optional leading up to the fortress, but in fact it was mandatory. That's why in MaGMML 2 the number of entries you have to complete was changed, I believe to 50 or 75%. What kind of bug though? I guess phasing through the terrain. Anyways, maze of that is done, on to the tier 3 boss. And now I understand from what Buster said how this tier is a bit more confusing to navigate compared to the original hub world. So who is this boss? Blade Man. Dagger Man. From Mega Man Super Fighting Robot. In the original version, he was based off the hard or very hard mode version of his encounter back in Super Fighting Robot. Let's see any changes to his pattern. Oh, this attack. Oh, trying to shoot me there. Oh no, he's in his pissed off phase. And it's over. Daggerman Mach 2 or Mach 3 has been defeated. I say he's about as fun as the original. So this marks the end of Tier 3. But before I leave, as I mentioned earlier, I'll be showing the judge comments. In the same order as I went through the levels. Just for posterity's sake. Honestly, I find Storm Power went a bit too generous on this level. Maze of Death, that is. But it was a nice way of concluding this tier. Although, in general, most of the levels, at least half the levels in this tier, mine and Flashman, were too long. But I can see how this stage would be enjoyable. And the boss was not disappointing, it was funny. Well, I think this is a good time to end off the stream right now, as the next tier will take at least 30 minutes. And this tier alone took over almost 50 minutes to complete. But before I end off the stream, let me see what else the NPCs have to say. That's quite an interesting costume. And something else I forgot to show earlier is that you can actually have costumes in this game. Well, we already had costumes in the original game, like for Proto Man, but you can also now make your own custom costumes. We have Proto Man for 50, base for 50, roll for 50, and custom for 200. So if you want me to use any of the custom costumes that you've created, let me know and I'll try them out for the next stream. The next MaGMML1 Remastered stream will be next week, by the way. And I'll update it, don't worry. Tier 4 will be covered during the next stream. Well then, my current thoughts on MaGMML1 Remastered is that it's a superior version of MaGMML1, while still being somewhat of a pocket version for the future contests to come. And I'd love to see what are some of the new other content pieces other than the shop items in Better Engine. For instance, some of the postgame content, the actual photo stages, and the other boss battles. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!